Hey, what's up, everybody? Just to let you know, I started the employee reference checks, and it's a time of day. I guess it's right before, it's about 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so it's about an hour before they go to lunch, kind of mid morning ish. Um, I could have gotten a lot faster. I finished the business cards, and I'll show you. Well, not actually business cards, they're networking flyers because they're not on card stock. And I actually think they came out pretty good. It was very easy. I didn't have to do any do overs or anything. They are front and back, and this is just a picture that I snapped this morning. So this is going to be the design if I do go and make some real business cards. But these are just service of purposes, a flyer, and the back. And I'm not going to read to you the details because I think that's kind of cheesy. So, but it does serve its purpose. I like them. And it just serves the purpose of being able to get my information out if I happen across people that seem to be interested. On the back is an invitation if they want someone to share, maybe do some public speaking and share about experiences because I think it's really important. Um, I did the first round of the reference checks for those three positions. I almost cried. Let me tell you something. It's like in this world, the way things work, things that are sad don't make me cry. Things that are good, are truly sincerely good, make me cry. The first one that I contacted, I think that whoever answered the phone probably recognized my voice. They transferred me over to HR. I went into the voicemail because they didn't know for sure, so I guess that's their way of screening. So I went into the voicemail. I called yesterday too. The person called back, but the way that my calls are set up, because I don't like to be disturbed, everything goes into voicemail. So of course they didn't leave a message. Um, so the second, um, so I called again today, same thing. Got the voicemail of the other HR person. Now it is mid morning. Usually mid mornings can be pretty busy because you're in the flux of everything, running back and forth, this, that, and the other. So I understand. Second, in that job that I called about, let me tell you the accomplishments that I did on that one. That one I did very well. I did really well on that one. And most of the jobs that I'm telling you about, when I got terminated or there was a separation, it was never a real reason. It was just that somebody didn't like and they was vicious. They were vicious, and it was easier just to kind of get rid of me. So with this situation, I was top salesperson for a long time. And it was a lot of things that were kind of funky. I'm not even gonna talk about it, but that were going on with that. But if y'all look at my old channel, I talked a lot about the things that happened there. But I am going to try to obtain the information. The next tomorrow will be, or maybe later today. I don't know. Probably tomorrow because I have the symposium that I want to go to tonight. But I'll try one more time. But this time when I call, I will ask if there's a way that I can send it via writing. The next job that I called to do the reference check on was the health insurance place that I told you. It, it got to the point where it was just so nasty. Like I said, people literally tried to run me over. Not people, but a person that I had nothing to do with because of the energy that was so bad. Run me over in a car. Seriously, I'm not lying to you. And it was very hard. There were good people there, but it was very hard for them to connect because of all of the craziness that was going on. Did very well there on a 5 week contest. I did 3 out of 5. And when I called that person, that particular position, the person recognized me evidently because she sounded like she was glad to hear that I was doing okay. She was just like, the person that you need to speak to is this person, but I can tell you this, that she did work here, but it was about 5 or 6 years ago. Okay. And that is true. So I think I know who that person is, but I'm not sure. But it brought tears to my eyes because her tone was very kind. You know, I just very kind. And I'm a little surprised by that because usually when there's an environment of negativity, it kind of seeps through and it goes all the way around. The other reason there was a little bit of surprise on that was I worked at SunTrust many moons ago, probably over a decade now ago, and I had some, experience there. I just asked about my vacation time, and the person that was the secretary there, um, it was just some nastiness there too. But only with that secretary person is she somehow infiltrated everywhere else. But she had been there a while, like 11 years. So, but when I called back to find out how to go about doing the references, I actually, because I had no hard feelings, I actually called for that department. And when I called for that department, um, the person that answered the phone was the operations manager. And she was operations manager at that time for like 25 years. She's probably retired now. But she was nasty, and there was no reason for her to be. I didn't have any. She didn't like me because she felt like I needed to know everything, and it made her feel a certain type of way. But I didn't expect her to be that way at all. I don't work there anymore. Why be nasty? So I was kind of, you know, yeah. So that's what I did the last, just doing my due diligence, going in the order that I'm going, not misrepresenting anything. Of course, I never do, but just to make sure, that, these references are what they are, you know, and that's what I have to do. Um, so my procedure for that is going to be you call 3 times for reference checks. On the third one, you ask, is there an alternate way to request an reference? You do allow 3 days. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to keep due diligence, but even though that's the case, I still have to go ahead and apply for something, because I did my due diligence, but I can't, with a 3 day time span, I'll never get anything applied for. But I'm in the process of verifying all of my references, all of that. As far as the background check, I mean, I already have that basically. Like I said, I went to the courthouse myself, got the papers, and they may or may not have forgotten me by now. But another thing made me cry. The person there very kind to me. He let me know without me asking. Miss Willoughby, you do not have a phone. And it just broke my heart that he took it upon himself to tell me that, because he didn't have to. He could have just chosen not to get involved. And I'm gonna tell you this about Miami. Um, there was so many opportunities, and this still is. Just in my life in general, for so many good things. And the what I love the most was the diversity of the people there. I learned a lot there. There's a large Hispanic culture and Hispanic population, and I got to tell you, they were good to me. They were. I don't know what that situation was with that particular job, but they were good to me, and they were very good to me. So I want to say thank you to the Hispanic community, Latin community of Miami and Fort Lauderdale. I've never had, not that I recall anyway, like a real Hispanic Latin person, not somebody that's been here and just been, but never had a situation where I was treated in any way that I felt like I was unsavory that I know of. And when I think back on it, I don't know. There was a lot of love there, even though there was a lot of bad. There was also a lot of love. Sometimes you just have to reach out and grab it. Reach out and find it. But I was so deep into what I was going through that I didn't have a chance to reach out. And it's almost like playing the video game like Mario Brothers, whatever games, and you jump up and grab the coins. I was so busy running on my path that because that this legal thing put me through, that I didn't take the time to look up and jump up and grab those coins. They could give me points and help me. I didn't. And I want to thank you for all the people that were good to me, that acted as those coins. You know, Even though I didn't get a chance to jump up, or I didn't take the opportunity to jump up and reach them, you were there. And even if it was not directly in your face, you were there. And I appreciate that. Haitian community, same thing. There have been people in the Haitian community that have reached out to me there and here as well. So I want to say thank you to those people. Um, Asian community, not so much. One, because there's not many of them, and two, because it's just kind of weird because I am, but I'm not in their eyes. So it's one of those things. And then also, I think I have a little bit of an anger towards it, because how can you disregard your own. But if they don't consider you their own, then what can you do? But still love, because it feels good sometimes to be able to get into an elevator and hear the language that you understand, that you grew up with, something similar and familiar. Um, White people, I don't know. I don't have much dealings with white people. I haven't really had much dealings with white people since I was 12. But there have been some good ones. Like I said, the guy on the bus that looked like a big burly biker, tattooed, pierced from head to toe, young, but was just the biggest sweetheart ever. If I could record that moment, I would. Old job, white person that showed kindness. Thank you. And even some of the older jobs, even though they couldn't really. So shout out to the white community too, I guess. Black people, I don't know. I think being black in America, just the history of it all, and the the culture of the black people that I come in contact with in the South, I haven't received a lot of good or love from that either. When I think about it, not just straight up black, because I think as a culture or community, black people, we hurt a lot. It's in our history, it's in our blood, and then I think just like when you look at my blogs, I talk a lot about military and how people try so hard to be accepted or wanted or to belong to something. And as y'all see, with the different jobs and things like that, I've tried. It's like, and then to be disappointed because you're still not accepted or appreciated. I think that's what black people go through a lot. And I think that sometimes I sense from other black people a little bit of anger towards me because I am different, and sometimes I vocalize it. And I think one lady, like at the phone store, I remember, I think she might have seen one. There was somebody that called me sweetie. I can't stand that. And I think that's so disrespectful, especially. It's just disrespectful, you know? It's disrespectful. I don't like it. It just makes my hair stand up. And let me explain to you in words why I don't like it. I have to make this quick because my time is up. But it's the equivalent to me of like when a guy, yo, shorty. I don't like that. And to me, it's condescending. People say that to people that they want to put in their place, you know, or they use it as a crutch to make them feel closer to somebody that they're not close to. Stop being lazy. Develop a relationship. If you don't want to develop a relationship or a way of relating to that person, don't do that. You don't know that person like that. I'm old fashioned, but that's what I was raised on. But anyways, I love y'all. I did my first round of reference checks, so it's about that time for me to try to get some money and move on to the next portion, which should actually be application. And then I did my networking cards, as y'all saw. Y'all didn't see the true beauty of it, and I'm mad at myself for sharing it like that on screen, like half butt sharing it. But after tonight, I'll share it completely so that y'all can see. Or maybe I shouldn't. I should not. That stuff should be kept confidential because, I really want to do something with it, with everything. So I want to keep it hidden. Like in conception, you have to do that in the dark for it to be conceived properly. Like, when you conceive children, you do it in the dark. You don't ever advertise it to the world for everyone to see. It's personal, private. Um, I was going to say something else. Oh, and then so after I work on acquiring the finances, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and work on the business plan. So that's going to be the next step. I'm going to do a 1-page business plan. So I will see y'all when I finish. What I did so far this morning, I did my crunches. Yay. And if you get a chance, check out my Korean playlist. It has some good Korean hip hop in there. Not all of it's good, but some of it is more of what I like. Like, it goes back to the old school, like, real jazzy type feel. So anyways, I love y'all. Have a good day, and I will speak to you soon.